Welcome to Ascent. I'm Fiery Grace the Gifted. I'm here with a channeled message, what feels intense message from your person. I'm going to bless and shuffle and set up a spread, and we'll see what comes through. King of Wands, the visionary entrepreneur. I love everything about you. Something about this feels like working in a life or a lifestyle where you can spend a lot of time together. This is the vision. Oh, wow. And we've been getting that very clear message from our person about preparing for things to be simpler. And now this is like, absolutely. This is their vision. This is their life. I think they're realizing how much time we've lost in this separation, and they want to make up for it, not by trying to go faster, but to slow down and just enjoy each other. Oh, that is, wow. The Emperor, protection. They want to protect you from the very stress that they drove you to and having to kind of do the journey for both of you. Wow, look at that. Okay, I mean, what are the odds that it comes into lonely Five of Pentacles energy after saying, hey, Divine Masculine wants to prepare a life together where you can enjoy more time together to protect you from what happens when you're alone. So this is, I think they've sensed something here, some energy that they've created in you. Hold on. Union, Two of Cups, honoring the commitment. The Fool, spontaneous, jumping in. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and somebody said it froze. Is it frozen for everybody? I'm gonna go right when I look over, so I don't know when that was, but I'm hoping it's not frozen for anybody else. What I'm going to do is lay out a spread, and while I'm doing that, please make sure that you like this video. Subscribe if you are just finding us, because me and my Divine Masculine have been operating this ministry for a few years now, and there are still so many who don't even know that there are twins in union, let alone those offering readings and guidance and ascension courses. So just make sure that if you are new around here, you introduce yourself. We've got a beautiful tribe, and I might actually just have to lay out cards. I'm going to finish shuffling. If nothing comes out, I'm going to split and I'm going to lay out cards, okay? You can always check the description, by the way, if you're looking for information about memberships, personal readings, anything like that. All right, my loves. So, aw, Kayla, you have done so much already. I think you might be one of the people who liked the most videos and supported the channel the most during Gracemas. So you've done so much. You are such an amazing supporter. Thank you for that donation. Thank you guys. Okay. What's the energy here before we start? Wow. Oh, okay. Again, if you just got here, I would suggest rewinding and maybe speeding up the time, because 38:11, consistency. I promise to make it all up to you. What am I going to make up to you? Everything that I have caused you to have to face alone, and everything that you have not been able to do to your fullest potential or capacity because you were on your own having to take up for me. I promise to make it all up to you starting right now. I'm already working on the life I want to live. Wow. Why? How did this happen? Because I know this connection is divine. I don't just know that you're special or that I'm special or that we're special, or no. I see beyond even the things that I might have just heard around town, you know, watching TV and movies. And I don't just think about it like, oh yeah, we're soulmates because we have something in common. No. There's something strange going on here. Something I cannot ignore. And I know now that this is not as simple as two people falling in love. It's so much deeper than that. And knowing that I've treated it like it was not that important and not that special, that's why I have to make this up to you. We'll wait for a moment. Let's get our energy and we'll dive in. Again, thank you so much to those of you who have already liked this video. Okay, and so look at this. Two different decks. Awaken, spiritual, awakened. I don't know exactly what they meant by that. If it's supposed to be spiritual and awakened, or if we're talking about being spiritually awakened, I don't know. But to me, it just says your person, that King of Wands energy, that vision that they got came from their awakening. So this is not just, because sometimes they react and they respond to things in their life and they do like the whole extreme opposite thing. Some of us have experienced where they'll come in and they seem like they're so ready and they'll say, oh, this stuff is happening, and da 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 da, and then they ghost us. And it's like, what happened? Well, that was them sensing that their person was there and that they were supposed to connect, but not actually connecting with why. Identifying why they felt led, felt drawn, because they didn't understand. This is different. This is new. This says, I am awakened to the possibilities and potentials that we share together. And now I need to talk to you, but why can't I call? Wow. I mean, come on. Again, this is 1-6, different deck, 1-6. Awaken, 1-6. I know this connection is divine. Recognition. And it's 6 of Wands. Woo! Okay. So not only did we see the King of Wands, not only do we see the Emperor, which different, but still, and then we see the Ace of Wands, but we see the 6 of Wands. And I think that this says that out of the Tower, the calamity, the chaos, comes this clarity that is like nothing they've ever experienced, and they are driving forward. This is, I feel, someone calling you when they're on the road. This is the soldier calling the wife who doesn't know that they're, around the corner, and they think that they're still out on deployment, and they're talking to them all casual like it's no big deal, and yet they're right there and you have no idea. So this is exciting. I am awakened to who we are, and I think they might want to share that. So I think that's what we're going to start with. Okay. Wow. Page of Wands. Everything but the Queen so far. Okay. Divine Feminine, there was a time early this year where I had a plan and it was working out. Or at least I thought it was. I was really hopeful about it. I felt freer than I had in a really long time. And that freedom I felt was because I finally had the power and the choice to choose the path I wanted to be on, and things seemed to be flowing. I was hopeful because I felt like I might finally have some true semblance of control over some part of my life. And that I was ready for what was next, what I had been planning for, what I had been dreaming of. And I just kept thinking about you and everything that I was learning and everything that was helping me to grow. It just felt like I was in the right place. And even though I was so far from you and that part didn't feel right, this had been the plan for so long that I felt like I was closer than you probably understand. And I know that earlier this year I was all over the place, but it was just because I kind of felt like I could breathe, I believed in where I was. But something happened. Wow. Things changed so fast that I couldn't really keep up with it. And the messages that came in, I couldn't understand because I didn't want to. It was like suddenly I'm on this path and they say, hey, this isn't where you're supposed to be. And it's like, then why let me get here? Why let me get to this point and then tell me I have to go the other direction or... And so I just kind of lost myself in that. that confusion made me feel like all I was really supposed to do was hold on. And that little bit of freedom that I felt to just be myself and like I had control, all of a sudden it was like it got taken away immediately. It was like I had been tricked, I had been duped. And even though everything was moving so fast, the plan I had and the life that I wanted, well, that was slowing down, coming to a complete halt. And I couldn't get it because I felt like I was in the right place. I felt like I was close. And I'm telling you, I know it sounds crazy that it could change that fast, but I was there. But then I did start to question things. I was seeing things. I saw an opportunity to break free of something I didn't know was holding me down and holding me back. I saw a chance to escape, but it wasn't to the same freedom I thought I wanted and needed that I already had. It was to this unknown place, this unknown. I just couldn't do it. And then the door closed. And I thought that maybe that since this one opened, that another one would come. And I started seeing things. I started experiencing all these different moments of, is this the right path? Is this the right path? Is this another door opening? And it all turned out to be nothing. It all turned out to be fake. I was being tricked. And then it made me wonder if the thing that I had given up on, the chance that I had at freedom, if that was just a trick too, if it was all just a sick joke. And it was at that point that I realized that I was just fooling myself. I told myself that everything was going to work out. I told myself that nothing was wrong and everything was fine. And then I told myself that this was all a test just to see, but I knew the whole time that something was wrong. I just didn't want to see it. I didn't want to believe what was in front of me. But now, when I look back and I think about it, I get why I kept seeing you. I get why it was like everything kept pointing me back to you, and I wanted to talk to you and I wanted to ask you for advice. And I just wish that I had, because if I had just been honest with you about what was going on, I think even you would have said, come on, you can see this, right? You wouldn't have let me be in denial. And don't get me wrong, I asked for advice from people. And they tricked me. And that made me kind of mad. And I realized that this was never where I was supposed to be. I realized that there was always somewhere else. I realized that the person that I was supposed to be was back there through that door that I walked right past. See, I had gotten so screwed over by life for so long that by the time I finally climbed my way to the top of this moment, that I wasn't just going to let an open door here or there distract me. And I guess now, as I'm learning that maybe I'm more supported than I think, and maybe there's more good available to me than I know, that maybe this whole time, this wasn't about making me feel bad or pissing me off or confusing me. It was about helping me escape the trap that kept me so stuck for so long. And by April, something happened. Something changed in me. As mad as I was also so I felt powerful because of that anger, but not like usual. In the past, I felt guilty when I got mad, but this was different. Is there a different type of anger? I don't know how to explain it to you. It just, for the first time, I was actually comfortable with this really intense emotion that I was feeling. And the only thing I could think was, maybe I've been misunderstanding what I'd been feeling and seeing and experiencing all along. And I started to look back and I realized that there was a lot more being revealed to me back here than I knew. I was so confused and frustrated when the year started that I just told myself it was a resolution that things would be better. And it's not how resolutions work. And I get that now, that I really depended on that being real. And it was weird. I don't know what made me think like that. But now I'm in this place where, is it crazy to say that this was all supposed to happen, even though I still don't believe in any of it and wish it would be different? But how else would I have gotten here? How else would I suddenly realize that if I could be mistreated and lied to and be left in confusion, there are so many other people out there who maybe in the past I looked down on, but now I realize they need me. They need my help. And I started to think about it. And when I realized that, looking back at you, I always looked at you as someone who would have to help me. But it was because I wasn't seeing you for everything you were. I was only seeing the parts of you that intimidated me. I was only seeing the parts of you that made me feel like I had to get back to the grind. I didn't see the parts of you that were soft and vulnerable and in need of love, just like everybody else. I don't know. And it was really in this anger and honestly in some pretty foolish decisions that I made back here, that when I would come to terms with the decisions and have to deal with the consequences, it was like everything, no matter good or bad or otherwise, it pointed me back to you. Who am I? What am I here to do? It pointed me back to you. And finally, I took a second to stop and figure out why. And I realized that you are my heart. It's probably dramatic to say you are my soul, but at the very least, I know that you make me feel alive. You make me feel light. You make me feel like I can do anything. And sometimes from different people over time, even as a kid, every so often you just have that person who was kind to you. And so you think that kind of love and that kind of kindness is just always going to be available, but it's not. And I took that for granted for so long that after a while, when I couldn't find it anywhere, I looked under every rock I could, and it kept pointing me back to you. See, but before this last couple of years kind of changed me. And I have to admit that before everything went crazy, I didn't really look at a heart as something anyone needed to have. Kind of like in The Wizard of Oz, you could live without it. So why did I look at you and think, who cares? It's whatever. It's just another person to be nice, or it's just another possible love or whatever. It was because I didn't value anything. And suddenly it was like I can't stop thinking about you, and I can't stop thinking about where you are and what you're doing, and how I have to come to terms with the fact that no matter what dream I have, no matter what it is that I feel I'm destined to do, I have to make sure that I do every other and fulfill every other duty and requirement. I can't just pick one or the other. And I have to tell you, I don't really understand why yet. But I do get that now. A part of me kind of connects with it because of the honor that men are expected to have, that the protector is expected to have. I guess I get that part. I think I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing the respect in it because I don't know, I just always pictured myself being above it all, I guess. But now I realize that if I'm above it all, that there's no way of me being able to see who needs me. I was so wrong. My thinking is so backwards. And now I have to admit that I've been an idiot all year because now if I had the knowledge I have now back then or back here, I wouldn't have done this. And that has, it's just hurt me, I think. Realizing how stupid I've been. The truth of the matter is, I have been the problem in my own life for so long. I think there was even there was a moment in time where I looked at you and I was disgusted that you could ever love me, that you were so stupid too. I'm sorry, I knew who I was, and I just thought, how could you be anything special if you want me? And what I realized, that I had been avoiding all this time was the truth, was what was right in front of me, because it scared me. I didn't want to have to admit it. I didn't want to have to deal with it. And I didn't want to have to handle the consequences of it. And so I have been basically running from chaos to chaos to chaos to chaos for so long. Because it was like I was able to be in a position just long enough for them to figure out who I really was. And then I had to go find a new identity. I couldn't bear the truth of who I had become. And now this is all I really have, is my thoughts, my memories, the truth. I just have to sit with it. And it's been a really fucked up time. Because I started this year and I felt like I could believe. And I'm worried that I'm going to end this year foolish still. I can't do this again, you know? Because going through this once, through the looking in the mirror, was devastating. But the truth is, I really need to talk because I just need you. And I don't even think that's the good reason to call you. I don't have any answers. I don't even know what to say. I just wish we could lay together. That's it. And just hold each other and just let all these feelings of stress and fear melt away. Because that's the last time I remember feeling that way. But I give in, you know. I get that I can't always have what I want when I want it. And that it's not a punishment, that it's supposed to be the way it's supposed to be. And I get it. I get that as much as I feel like I need protection in this moment, that you probably do too. And this is probably going to be that make or break moment in my life. And maybe this is the cycle I'll be in for the rest of it if I don't get this right. I need you to know. It's a lot to say that I feel complete with you, but what you don't understand is that I've never needed to feel complete because I always thought I had been destined to live a broken life. And I've always been afraid of this feeling like I'm breathing your air, like I can't fully be me without you, and I resented that for a long time. And I just want to get myself to a place where I can believe that I am whole and also embrace the way that you make me feel that's like nothing else I've ever felt. And I understand that I cannot ask you to give me peace. I cannot ask you to give me air. Something in the truth that I found recently is teaching me that I can find that myself. I can provide it to other people. So I'm determined to break this cycle. I'm determined to break this cycle, and I know that it's crazy to think that there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but I believe. I'm see, what I don't think I'm really understanding yet is that the more I look back on what happened and what I was trying to avoid, the more I see like magic. Like I in the moment I felt attacked and I felt tricked and I felt confused, but when I look back I think, wait a minute, that shouldn't have happened that way, and how was that even possible? And suddenly it's like I'm asking different questions. And if I want to live a different life, then I have to start to think different. I have to start to believe in happiness and that it's possible. I have to start to believe that the only way that you get a rainbow is with a storm. And the rainbow isn't just to say that the storm is over. The rainbow is to point you in the right direction. Someone's been trying to get my attention for a long time. And I think I thought it was you, but I'm realizing now, this is going to sound crazy, but it's almost like when I see you now, I see someone behind you. And it's going to sound crazy because it's not, I don't think that it's like God or something. It's just so familiar. I see it. And I know that I'm supposed to find out who's there. Look, I know that this quest that I'm on now for simpler joys and happiness and all that probably sounds so unlike me from how determined I was before, but I need you to understand I just want a different life. I need a different life. And the life that you imagined and I imagined, maybe we can make something of that, but I just know we have to be on the same path. If we're together and we're on the right path together, we can do this. We can do this. I want to savor life with you. I want to taste how sweet it is. I realize now that everything that felt like it was trying to tear me apart it was trying to help me. Just to help me see that the truth is out there. And even though I messed up so much, I can make this up to you. Of all the people in the world who I would be destined to be with, it has to be the one that would love me through everything, right? It has to be the one that saw through everything when no one else could, right? It has to be the one that knew I was full of shit and didn't care and connected with parts of me that I didn't even know existed before I even knew they were there. It has to be you. You're the only one. And so, if you thought that I was just saying things to say things, if you thought I was just doing that same thing I always did, I don't blame you at all, but I want you to know something. I don't know much, but I know who you are. And I know what this is. And I had to deal with what was being thrust in front of me, but I was ignoring before I could see the truth. Oh my gosh. Because the truth has been all this time that you're the only person that's ever made me feel this way, but I ignored it. I don't know why I ignored it. I was looking for it. When I think about it in this moment, I know I've been searching for so long. I know that every time I get lonely or scared, or every time I was overwhelmed and stressed, I went out looking for some sort of companion for the moment. And I'm realizing that wasn't just some primal urge. It was so much more than that. Oh, okay. I thought that everything about you was perfect. And I knew that you thought I was perfect, which I thought you were crazy, but I thought that I only really liked you because you really liked me. And now it's like, what are you even talking about? I was so caught up in everything else and what the world said. And the joy that you brought me made me feel alive. But it's the joy that I want to bring you that is going to make me feel like I'm really worth something. Ugh. I want you now. And I'm ready to leave the life that I was so gung-ho and just, I refuse to let it go. I'm done. I'm done. If you need me, I'm here. If you want my help, I'm ready. I cannot hold you back anymore, and I cannot hold me back anymore. I cannot hold us back anymore. And I don't want another day to go by without you knowing that, but I don't know how to tell you that when I have no idea how to do any of this. And that's why I need your help. Because the whole plan, oh my God. The whole plan, the whole time was that I wanted to be able to come in and save the day and ride off into the sunset together. And every time that something happened in my life that said that wasn't going to happen, it just... So if the most important thing that I have learned is that the change that I seek can't be done alone, then maybe I have to let go of this feeling that if I come in just as me, that it wouldn't be enough for you. Because that doesn't even make sense. That doesn't make sense. And I don't know how I lived with these lies for this long, and it's been so overwhelming to sit here and look at this and face the facts of what I have done to myself and to you. Just not believing. One more. Oh, two. And so, if I can get anything through to you tonight, if I could get anything through to you tonight, I want you back in my life. I want the new beginning. And if we have to start from the bottom, if we have to start fresh, then we can. Because I'm not afraid anymore. Because I know that just like some amazing thing led me to you, whatever we're supposed to do, we'll find it together. That was the lesson. That we're stronger together. That's how the new beginning happens. Together. And even though I have never known if I could do it, even though I always felt, even when I was doing this and pursuing this before, I still wore this mask. I was still acting. Now I get it. I was never going to be able to do this by myself. I was always going to only be able to be halfway there, and then it would always just start over because it was never supposed to be done alone. We are stronger together. And now that I know that, I will never, ever look back. This is the life that I want. This is the life that we should have had a long time ago. And I'm so sorry that I looked at the love that you gave and the unconditional that you gave, and I thought that it was so foolish, and I thought you were so silly, and I think there were even moments where when I was not in this truth that I considered letting myself take advantage of whatever you were willing to give. And I think it was those moments of just the lowest of the low that made me decide the only way I could come into you in this life was to be the savior, to be the protector, because I felt like I owed that to you. You didn't even know some of the messed up thoughts I had about what I could do to you. And it was never to hurt you. It was just because that's how I thought. Just that's how I saw things. You were protected from me through this vision that I had, that the only way to deliver the right person to you was to become that person. And I get it now. I get now that if I don't have you in my life and by my side, that those kinds of awful things and thoughts and the plans, it all could have just gone so wrong. So please forgive me. Please forgive me. I didn't deserve you then, and you know, I will probably always struggle to believe I deserve you at all, but I have to believe that if you still love me, if you are still ready, if you still see this as a possibility, that it's on. It's game time, you know? For those of you who need an extra message, I'm going to pull one card. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to pull a bonus card for you, and you're going to go to Google. You're going to search this card, and you're going to go to the fourth page, the fourth search page, or you're going to scroll to the bottom 4 times. If it doesn't give you the opportunity to go forward and it just keeps loading more, you're going to scroll down and load 4 results, 4 extra additional times, okay? What is the card? Oh, this is not, well, we'll get this and this together then. Okay. It's the 2 of Pentacles, which was the message from yesterday. The most productive thing I've done today is dream about you. It's time to make the choice. Follow your dreams, Divine Feminine, because your dreams are more productive than you think. The periodic table of elements was dreamed up. There's something there, and it's going to help you. Look that card up, okay? All right, I got to get going. Oh, again, you guys, most people don't know this, but Mr. Lightwork and I are all we have. And we don't have any friends. We don't have any family. The pandemic kind of like just made that impossible. And like, I'm starting to slowly not be so afraid of like reconnecting with people and all that. But the truth is, you are my life, my family, my friends, my clients, you're everything. So for those of you who just are always around and down and just want to come hang out and listen to these messages, even when maybe I'm freaking lecturing or whatever, I guess I do when I don't mean to, but I just want to help. And for seeing my heart and all of that, I just want to say thank you, because doing this channel for the past 4 years has shown me that there are good people all over and from every walk of life, and that it's easy to connect with the people who want to connect with you, the people who see that commonality, but also the differences, and say, hey, this is cool. Let's see what we can make of it. I just want you to know that I see you, and I know that it doesn't always probably seem like it, because this is how we connect through like these readings and these messages. And this one, even like a channeling, was weird, but like, I wish we had a different way to be together, is what I can say. And I'm just glad that this doesn't get in the way of our friendship. So I love you guys. Okay, if you're still here, if you made it this far, thank you for liking the video. Don't forget to leave your comment signature. And if you made it this far, I want you to leave a 7 or a 16 or an 88 in the comments. And if you have emojis, then you can leave like 7 of an emoji for me for my birthday. Okay? Okay, cool. You know what? Why make this about me? How about you instead you can leave that for me, or you can leave an emoji message to your divine masculine, because I feel like that's probably what people would actually care to do. So shout out to Will. Thank you, Will, for donating to the tribe those 4 exclusives. To those of you who won, what is it? Wait a minute. No, the people who won, you already know my email. So email me and claim your prizes if there's more than one. And that's it. Okay? Okay, guys. Because I just keep talking. You know how I will do this. I love you. If you leave 88 birthday cakes, I will count. You better not leave 87. I love you guys.